What is up, everybody, and welcome into the Winners Lounge. Crazy, of course, no. All air horns. Are you kidding me? Pump the air horns.
I'm a little out of air horn.
Man, I'm telling you, that was the drunkest game. Oh. That was the craziest game. I said it's the best bad game of the year. It was a bad game.
It was a bad game.
But it was so good.
So sweet.
How close is it to worst good game of the year?
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was that. I think it's definitely a good bad game. It was a bad game. It was a bad game. Guys, we're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download it right now onto your phone. Use promo code DNVR. Dev, did we win any money tonight?
Of course we won.
Did we really?
Of course we did.
I think I had lost money tonight. I think you might be lying.
We won. If you guys listen to me, we won.
I think I listened to you, but then I also listened to Eric.
Eric got MPJ.
I said MPJ threes.
Then how did I lose money? What did I do? I went rogue here.
So that was on you. You guys did.
All right, don't listen to me then. Don't listen to me. I clearly lose money. I got the full squad here. I got Brendan Vogt.
Showing ankle, feeling good, ready to espouse some vibes, and then get out of here. And
Did you realize when you went, ankles out, a bare ankle, that you were going to be walking in feet of snow?
No, I brought boots. I'm prepared for that. Not the ad reads, though.
I'm not going to lie. I laughed when I saw you bring the boots in. I'm like, dude, it's a little April snow. And then sure enough, it's a freaking blizzard out there.
Might be something there for you to unpack.
There's a lot for me to unpack. Dude, we have a rule, though. We have a rule, man. I'm sorry. I appreciate it.
No.
It's Ryan Green.
I'm stepping up. Listen,
All right.
If you want to. And we have guests in the house tonight.
All right, let's get our guests in. What do we got? Rakia here?
Rakia.
What kind of Rakia did you guys put in here? A little pair?
Oh, so you got to show the people.
Tell the people your name.
Who
this
you
is
are.
Brett, by the way, big Nuggets fan. Member, home.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Brett, one thing to say to you. Yeah. Jivali. Let's go.
Yeah. You're a champ. You're a champ, Brett.
Hey, man, Brett took it like a champ.
Well, it turned out Brett's a champ.
Yeah. The weak one over here, it's D-Line Co.
I'm pretty weak, you guys. But I'm a winner. I'm here in the Winners Lounge.
You did Scooter here, I noticed.
I did not Scooter here. You did not know.
Whose Scooter was that out there?
That belongs to the universe. That belongs to all of us. That's a public scooter.
Over here, I got Superstar Dev.
You guys act like that wasn't a big win. I thought that was a big win, and I think it was a
big win.
It was a huge win, and that was fun to me. That was a fun game.
I'm telling you, man, every game is honestly huge right now when you look at the standings. I mean, even if you do resign yourself as Matt Moore, my colleague on Locked On Nuggets, wants us to resign that, it's going to be Lakers Nuggets, I think it's likely to be. Still, home court versus not home court against them is also huge. So these games matter a lot, and this was one that was, I think Denver snatched victory from the jaws of defeat tonight. They should have lost this game.
Without question, dude, that was, as we said here repeatedly, that was a very joyless expression of basketball for 3.75 quarters.
And I think they narrowly escaped a bad narrative game, right? So we're going to get into this, I'm sure, but like Aaron Gordon off the court for a lot of that. And, some interesting rotation decisions from Malone. And it was really close to a very frustrating win. That would have been a tough night online, I think.
So here's the thing.
Or loss.
There's a lot of negative, I think, to this game, and I don't want to run from it. Like, there's stuff you got to learn from even your wins. But let's have fun with this first, because this game was too much adrenaline.
We could pick this apart and all night long.
We will. But let's first have some fun. D-Line. I guess we start with MVP.
As in Nikola Jokic, the MVP of the league.
Well, I thought that was his name. I was just trying to. Yeah, who else would we be talking about when I said MVP?
Vlatko Čančar? I don't know.
Tonight he goes for 47 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists. He shoots 20 of 31 from the field. You know what's funny is I felt like Jokic was a little bit off. And then you look down, it's 20 of 31. 2 of 6 from 3.
I also think you nailed it too. By the fourth quarter, it sort of revealed itself that Jokic wasn't really off so much as Denver couldn't get him the ball.
Man, I've been saying. I saw people online today saying Jokic needs not doing enough, stuff. I'm watching. I'm like, are you guys watching the game I'm watching?
He's not getting the ball. Yeah.
A horrible offensive process early on.
But then how many times has Jokic seemed, whatever, you pick your personal word, relatively underwhelming or whatever, only for him to just be the baddest man when it matters most.
Yeah.
Another one.
He was the baddest man when it matters most.
The thing that I loved about Jokic's game tonight is usually we say that he had a quiet game. I don't think that was quiet at all. I think he worked for every single one of those baskets.
It made him work.
And also the way that Memphis played him, you have to kind of tip your hat to them for giving him so many different looks and making him have to work for things, but also back to him because he scored 47 points and found a way. There was double teams coming. There was like adjustments. There were switches. They like built a wall at a lot of times. And also like they just knew like how to adjust to him. And he still continued to battle. He still continued to be aggressive on the boards and clean up everything. And also he had some really, really tough shots. He was big down the stretch. And that was a game that I think that he just like finished completely. Like the MVP race is over.
It's over, huh, Eric?
Well, I mean, people love gaudy numbers.
Yeah, they do.
They more than anything, like that's what
they like them when other guys have gaudy numbers.
Yeah, but like if you're talking about like arguing on Twitter, which I don't know that necessarily the voters are looking at Twitter. Yeah, we see Kale. That it's Jokic is like these are the numbers you look at: 47 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists. Somehow does not get the triple double. Which
I know, which is a real bummer.
I'm a petty man. I was looking to get that
little
gambling dub. So, but I mean, this is that's what it boils down to in people's minds is like these big numbers. So this is a big number game. People look at it. They won the game on a night when the Embiid led. 70s. I'm a little lightheaded. I got to be honest.
You're a little lightheaded. That game really took it out of you.
No, the Rocky.
Oh, the Rocky.
I didn't eat dinner. Like,
So, this was a game that Denver had to win differently than, and part of why this was so ugly is because Denver had to win differently than they usually do when they win. I don't know, halftime or whatever through this game, Jokic has 2 assists, a lot of points, but Jokic likes to get everybody involved. He likes to be all around. What do we have here?
Kale, you can take that down.
They're from. You bought something?
Not.
Downstairs, Eric. All right. These are like
patties.
real physical shots. We can't turn these ones down. These aren't super chats. These are actual shots.
This is Megan, real bartender,
real
at
bartender.
the real DNVR bar.
These are my specialty shots.
They're peppermint patties.
Yeah.
Kale, come get one.
It's like a liquid peppermint patty.
Oh, you did. All right. Well,
Oh,
it
they
is
smell-
Monday. We don't usually drink, but I guess these ones
They
so
smell delicious.
fancy.
Yeah, turned on good.
These also
right.
not quite a shot. This
Everybody-
is really more of a drink.
Very special.
All right.
And
wow.
Givali doll.
So there you go. There's your king of the game, Nikola Jokic. 47 points.
That
14
was
rebounds.
delightful.
Yeah, that was really delightful.
I don't think we're on the screen here, by the way.
Kale, are we not on the screen?
Yeah. There we go. And we're back.
And
So
we're
I did
back.
want to say, guys, one thing about this Jokic game, and to me, like MVP, well, this is the difference between Jokic and a year ago and 2 years ago, and what makes him an MVP and not just first-team All-NBA center. 2 years ago, Memphis did this with Torrey Craig, and Jokic didn't take a shot out of protest. And that's my label of it.
'cause they did super chats on.
Tonight he was just impossibly patient and picked them apart like a computer and kept his composure and never threw a tantrum. He found a way to play 4-on-5 offensively, but this time he kept his head about him, and the result is a stat line that maybe 5 people alive can put up.
We're going to talk later on just about how clogged the spacing was tonight, how difficult it was to run, the Nuggets basketball, Jokic ball, just get the ball moving. I mean, Memphis had a very smart game plan tonight. I wonder how much teams are going to start to try some of the things. We'll talk about those later. But Denver had to go to another option, and in particular, Jokic had to go to another option tonight. And it's just so funny that Jokic, playing the way he does not want to play, can go for 47, 15, and 8 or whatever they've got. 47, 15, and 8 on great efficiency. I mean, this guy really is. We do this a lot, guys. But I just want to keep saying it. You're underselling him. When I say you, I mean everyone on earth. Like literally everybody, even me.
us,
Like we're
even
underselling this guy. You can force him into his least favorite option, and his least favorite option is like Steph Curry tonight. Incredible, and he is. Like I'm not trying to take away from Steph Curry. 49. Jokic has 47. Also 15 and 8. Like
We're going to be behind this curve his entire career.
Always going to be behind it.
Until and if it gets to
Dude,
best, is this the best offensive center ever? And we're like,
they're already
yes,
there.
we're
People
already
already
there.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've accepted him as my personal Lord and Savior,
Right.
Nikola Jokic. And I don't feel like I've necessarily been behind the curve, but I think you're right at the same point in time. Like
He's better than your Lord and
He has
Savior.
outpaced, I will just take time to try to appreciate him, and then he's just moved forward, and I have to wake back up and figure out where he's gone.
Each thing that, been labeled by outside bloggers and stuff as sort of like pipe dreams or analytics, every year, no, I think he's even better. No, I think he's a
Oh, it's so
superstar.
true.
No, I think he's first team All-NBA. No, I think he's MVP. And by the end of this, we're going to be talking about one of the greatest centers to ever lace him up.
And then there's a lot of like, can he drag this guy or this guy? It's like the Nuggets had Shaq Harrison out there, Facu, Doge. They got these guys. And I'm not trying to say these guys are bad. It's just that they're not dynamic. It's not like, oh, these are guys you could plug and do all this stuff. It's like, nope, when they're on the court, you got to do this really uncomfortable thing. They're going to load up on you 2-3 guys.
You guys
You're gonna
know
do it.
EG from Reddit?
Yeah.
He just hopped in and said, well, not everyone undersold him.
Yeah, what is it going to be like when Jokic retires and we're like, if they don't rename it the JBA, like I don't know what, like
The
what?
what?
The JBA, the Jokic Basketball Association.
Oh, they should.
I mean, like I don't know, I don't know how to feel more positively about a player. Like,
you work around. Will Barton deserves a lot of mention tonight. We'll go to him second. Weird game from him. I mean, 28 points. First of all, they don't win this game without him. 28 points. Absolutely on fire to start this game. Absolutely ice cold in the giant middle portion of it. And then on fire again down the stretch. I shouldn't say on fire, but makes some big time plays, including a three that, let's be honest, there are certain plays that are like the game was in the balance. A three where he's kind of running forward,
fell on his
leaning
face,
in, like
yeah.
it looked like a disgustingly horrible shot. Goes in, big balls from Barton
You
tonight.
just have to. I'm glad you said that. Like you really just have to tip your hat to him. He has cojones. Like
Yeah.
for him to go out every single night, and this was also a night that he started off so scorching hot and went through such a cold streak that you're like, I don't have it anymore. Like I played well. I gave you guys momentum early. You guys built on it. I don't have it anymore. You missed about 5 layups straight. Luckily, Jokic cleaned those plays up. But also, that's what you see from Barton. He is not successful every single time, but he's also willing to take the next shot. And the Nuggets desperately need him to take those shots. If he doesn't take those shots, Jokic doesn't get into position to just get the rebound and just go up. He also takes shots like that last shot. If he misses that, everyone says that Barton loses the game.
Of course, they pin it solely on him.
They say that, but then he makes it, and people are not saying he won the game from him. And I'm not saying
Barton
that
won
he
the
did,
game.
but
He did,
also
though.
he won the game with those type of shots. Like there was a lot of plays that led into it, but also having the will to be able to take those type of shots. It just you don't get that from everyone,
Especially with
so
no
you have to
Jamal.
appreciate that.
I mean, truly, there were a lot of really clutch performances from a lot of people in this Nuggets squad.
Yeah.
Facu came up big
Yeah.
in really big moments. Jokic obviously came up big in big moments. Barton,
Porter even.
PJ Dozier. It really, there were a lot of guys that you could pinpoint and say this is a big moment. The game sort of hinges on this moment. There were 15 of those moments.
Yeah.
So Barton, guys, has done a better job this year, I think, with the little stuff than people realize at times. Like the rebound and assist column, it's been pretty solid. Tonight, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, by the way, to just the 1 turnover. A lot of times what's just sort of the difference between Barton was shaky tonight, no, this was a good Barton game, is when he's getting it done from 3 and at the line. And tonight he did both of those things, 5 of 6 from deep, 7 of 8. And it's just all these misses, the 42% from the field, same deal all season. They're at the rim, and he's not hitting those shots. Now, I will say 3 times tonight he had the Kobe miss to Jokic.
Right. Some of those misses,
Some
yeah.
of those that he's comfortable taking because Jokic is in that position. But nonetheless, it's the layups that are preventing him from having great games.
I'm going to get to that in a second, but also you mentioned this briefly. 7 rebounds, 6 rebounds, 7 assists tonight. So it's not like he wasn't doing so
Precisely.
many other things. And here, before we get to the missing at the rim part, we've wondered what would happen to Denver in tight games without Jamal Murray. Tonight we got a window into what it might be. It wasn't always pretty,
Right.
but they went to Barton and Jokic a lot down the stretch. And you could tell even Jokic, that was his comfort zone. Let's run some actions. And Barton knows what to do. This is one of the things people don't appreciate. Like the Murray-Jokic 2-man game, the collective brain power and chemistry between them two is a 100 out of 100. It's just so up here. With Will Barton, it's not far off. He's less capable as Jamal Murray of knocking down tough shots and finishing at the rim, all these different things. But he at least knows what to do. And tonight, this is part of why Jokic went for so many points down the stretch is he knew, go give it to Barton, run our little action. If he's wide open, he'll take it. But if not, he's going to get me the ball exactly where I'm trying to get the ball. And that's a huge credit to him. Do you feel, Eric, while you're watching this, that you have confidence in the Barton-Jokic 2-man game to the extent as that what it played out tonight?
Jokic's two-man game is a complete throwback to the Nuggets.
It is a throwback.
2 years ago. Like that, Barton was the first person on the Nuggets that learned how to play successfully with Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
And then he just
True.
like sort of fell
People
out
don't
of
realize
favor.
it's true.
It's completely true. And so there's like a real, those two are comfortable playing with one another. Obviously, you would prefer to have Jamal Murray because he can
He's just better at
he can
everything.
just get microwave hot
Yeah.
in a way that the way that Barton can. I'm literally a little drunk. This is ridiculous.
He had one shot.
I know. But
Two, I guess.
we've seen it before, and Barton is a good player. I mean, this is like why we always go to the mattresses for him. Like he gets put in positions a lot of times where his role has been so diminished that he has to press in his mind. He feels like he has to, just like remind people he's still on the floor. So he does things he probably shouldn't. But at the end of the day, like Barton is a sound player. He understands how to play with Nikola Jokic, and you saw it tonight. Like when we needed it, Barton stepped up. Like let's go thrill.
If Murray is a 10 on your trust to run two-man game with Jokic and 0 is, I don't know, Eric, what is Will Barton?
I'll say a 9.
Okay.
The only reason that I
Pretty
say
high.
a 9 is because if you just watch it, the team trusted him to do it.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
they
That's a
deferred
good
to him
point.
at a lot of times. Like they set up the offense through him. When it doesn't work and the play doesn't work, they reset through him. Like
Right.
he's the point guard right now
Great
at a lot
point.
of times.
Great point.
They have him bringing the ball up, and they have Facu like setting up on the side, and that's not your point guard. Barton's not the traditional point guard. So there's a trust in him, and also Jokic, who's their best player, trusting him to go through it. So if they're high on it, then we have to be high on it.
So Will Barton would be probably having a career year or close to it if he could make a layup.
I know.
He can't. And I honestly, we're deep enough into the season and it's happening consistently enough that I almost wonder if he needs to change his mind frame. I don't know. I part of me thinks you can't win with having a guy that doesn't ever try to get to the paint. But I wonder if it's just like last resort, man. Like if you're in the paint, unless you're wide the F open, don't try it because
Just try to cut down on those second and third quarter, just driving through the teeth of the D.
hang and try to do something
trying
fancy.
to draw fouls, what he's trying to do,
Yeah.
and he's not getting that respect right now.
By the way, I just want to bring this up because I forgot. Will Barton, not only did he have the 3 that kept the game alive, he blocked John Morant on an insane dunk
but no.
attempt that was also a game
John
changer.
went out of his mind, dude. He chose violence. He decided that he wanted to win like Thanos would win a basketball
It's
game.
probably it must be so cool to jump 50 inches in the air. That must be like a really cool
If
feeling.
that dunk in OT would have went through,
It's over.
no, but it would have been the best play for the decade. They would have had to keep on replaying it and showing you how you lost to Memphis that night. Like
Cojones, man. Because cojones to put yourself in and be like, if I screw this up, I'm on the greatest poster of the season. If I get it right, we might win the game, and he did it. So hate on Will Barton at your own peril.
I'm lower than Dev on that scale. I'd probably put it, I think, at a 7.
Me too.
I mean, there was also the turnover right before
Yeah.
the bad 3,
Yeah.
which is also a bit reflective of
That's
what the
Will
Barton
Barton.
experience is
Yep.
like. But to me, what it speaks to most is Jokic's on the court relationship with Barton.
Yep.
And I think it's something that a lot of fans have really maybe missed over the years, which is that for whatever you think of Barton as a Jokic ball player, Jokic really trusts him. And tonight, he was looking for Barton all the way, every one of those possessions. So I don't know. Those guys trust each other, and it's not the same as the Murray thing at all. But there's something there.
I had a phone call with a guy who's a professional trainer. He trains players in the NBA. Can't share with you, but high-level players, like all-star caliber players. And talking to him today, I asked, can Jokic create a two-man game with Michael Porter in short order? And he goes, yes. Jokic can create a two-man game with literally every player in the NBA.
So true.
And he was like emphatic about it.
It's
I'm
like 98%, 2%.
He's like the thing about Jokic is he actually makes it as easy as possible for any other second player to also play this two-man game. Like he
It is
puts
amazing.
everything in the physical easiest spot.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy. Jamal Murray and Jokic, what an amazing two-man game. Jokic and Barton, what an amazing two-man game. Jokic and
I
Facu,
don't think
dude.
it's that easy though. I don't. It looks easy, but just like having to read a guy that's so good and you have to make the right play or it breaks
Right.
down the entire game, it looks easy because he makes it look easy and he can adapt with anyone. But if you don't play the right way of basketball,
you have to know what to do.
Right.
It's
You have
not
to know how
going
to
to
get on
work.
his level or something.
But we've seen that early with Michael Porter Jr. Like
Sure.
it just didn't work
Sure.
for a while,
Sure.
and it takes time.
And I think that's you're absolutely right about, like, you have to have a guy that knows what to do, because he can't make you make shots. He can't make you do this. He can only be like, hey, if you do this thing, I'm going to get you perfectly. However the defense plays you, I'm going to get it perfectly. And he did that. The next guy to talk to about tonight is Campazzo, and we'll take a break after this guy. But, Campazzo tonight is at the heart to me of so many things that are going on with the Nuggets now without Murray there, and especially without Monte. And he's at the heart of what I think their entire season really comes down to. I thought he was horrible in the first 3 quarters of this game. I put out his stat line. He didn't have a single stat other than 2 turnovers and a few, I think 3 fouls. He didn't have any points, rebounds, assists, whatever. And it's funny is, I put this out. I don't want to dislike Facu. I don't want to have this take or that take. Like, I've been up and down on him as his season has been up and down. But, this was a tough one. And I had somebody from Argentina. It was pretty funny. He was very clear. I kind of read it loud to you guys as we were sitting here. He said something like, yes, but when it matters, he will make those shots. He will do this or that. And I kind of like guys, be rational. Well, he was right. Facu tonight, horrible for quarters 1, 2, and 3. And horrible in important ways we're going to talk about in segment 2. But in quarters 4 and in overtime, the guy defended Ja Morant incredibly well. And not just Ja Morant. The guy just defended well, disrupted what they were doing, got extra possessions for Denver, and he knocked down enough. I think he only had 1 bucket. Did he? He was 1 of 8. Gets 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. But I'm saying, to go from 0 stats to contributing across the box score, that was big. They don't win this one. I don't think they're down as much as they were without Campazzo, but they don't win this one either.
And also, I think he just stepped in at a spot that's just really difficult for him. Like, Aaron Gordon went out. I'm guessing that it had to be like an injury for him to have to be out for that long.
Not so sure. We'll see.
I just feel like it. But even if not, he gets put into like the spotlight and he has to guard Ja Morant, who's having a night. And he steps up on both ends of the floor, but he just made so many plays. Yeah. Even when he's not scoring, because you really do want him to score the basketball. He goes 1 of 8 tonight, which is very difficult. And that's the reason that Memphis was able to double team and send so many different looks.
They did not guard Facu tonight.
You just have a guy out there. And
it wasn't even really a double. It was just
now we could just have a guy just shade and just be there at all the times. And I know that that's frustrating for Jokic, but also he made so many plays. It's like, how do you take him out of the game? Like, we talked about Will Barton winning the game, but Facu made a lot of MVP type of plays in the game as well. That high IQ push off of like Grayson, that gave momentum. It also was just like an extra possession that they went and scored on. Like, he did so many high IQ things that it's just like, you got to take the good with the bad.
Two offensive fouls too that were just
the Facu experience is so wild.
Like, it's incredibly wild.
There are times where you're like, there is no universe this guy should be in the NBA. And then other times you're like, that guy is pure heart, pure hustle. I don't care. I don't want to see the box score. He won the game. If you tell me any number associated with Facu, I'm going to be like, I don't care.
The intangibles are through the roof.
Dude, that play where we didn't even know if he had to do it, but he jumped out of bounds, threw the ball off of Grayson Allen. It was like
10 out of 10 play.
An absolute 10 out of 10. He put a wall against Ja Morant and then made him dribble the ball off of his own foot out of bounds for a turnover when the Nuggets were down 10 with like 2 minutes left. What was that?
He made probably the most winning plays possible of a fourth quarter to overtime. Just it was one after the other.
No point. No
well, he hit the 1-3.
ability.
No, he hit the 1-3, and it was huge.
Okay,
it was really important for him to.
But
hit
also,
it.
just think about the fact that you're guarding a guy in Ja Morant who has a hell of a night, and he's making all these shots in front of you, and you're the one that's guarding him. You're his primary defender, and you still give full effort. You still have no quit in you. And this guy is clearly winning the battle, but you still like, I'm gonna do everything that I can to make sure that I make the plays when I'm supposed to make them. For you to not make any shots and this guy to make everything, and you're still giving full energy and keeping your team into it with 5 fouls, with early like turnovers and other things, and he still is like just epitomizing like no quit. Like, I know that's just what he is.
Watching Facu makes you want to like fire the DeLorean up to 88 and talk to a young Eric Weedham and say, listen, you can't make any baskets, but you can try hard. You too can be an NBA champion.
Honestly, there is something to it, though. Like, effort is a large portion of life,
So
and it's
true.
a large portion of basketball. And it's like,
especially in the regular season.
that's true. That's true. And tonight, honestly, felt like a postseason game in a little bit because I thought Memphis's game plan, and we're going to talk about this segment too, kind of signals to how I think teams are going to play him. But you have to tip your hat because it was inspiring. Watching Facu in the fourth quarter and especially in overtimes was inspiring, and I don't know how else to put it.
That's how I feel watching him play. Whether he has a good or bad game, I genuinely find Facu inspiring.
Makes me feel lazy.
By the way, guys, I see some people talking about.
Seriously, like, I don't do anything this hard.
I see some comments about how we're underselling players X, Y, Z. We're gonna get to them. We do all the players, and we just haven't.
Those
done them
three,
yet.
first of all, we're not underselling. Jokic, Barton, Facu to me are the three players to mention so far.
There's another guy I want to shout out, but we can.
We'll take our first break because we
Vlatko?
went really long. We're 30 minutes into the show.
Vlatko?
No, it rhymes with dad.
Oh man, you're right. He had a nice little run there. We're gonna get to all the rest of the guys though in the second half, including.
Shad?
All right, enough of this. Can we take our break?
Anyway, Breckenridge Brewery is the official beer of DNVR. Have you guys heard about their boozies? No, because you don't know what that means. But if I said Celsius, you
No
know
one's heard
exactly
of
what
that.
I was talking
We're
about.
almost at 1,500. Oh, we just lost like 20. We almost got to we've
been up over.
our highest. We went over 15. All right, I've never seen it before.
Well, Breck finally introduced their seltzer line.
outstanding.
Comes in a beautiful Jokic 15 pack, apple pear, cherry, peach, berry, honey dew. Guys, rumors on the street, just rumors, just whispers in the wind for now, can confirm nothing. But there are rumors that these seltzers are on their way to the DNVR bar for sale. Just a rumor.
Snaps.
Just a rumor. Guys, the farmhouse
It's
is
a
open,
fact.
socially distanced, beautifully set up for outside dining. Of course, maybe not on a day like this, but, you know, it's Denver. It changes every 24 hours. If you're more comfortable at home, you can still order curbside pickup from 12 to 8 p.m., get beer delivery from the Drizzly app, or head to your nearest grocery store like King Soopers or Costco. Call 303-803-1380 from 12 to 8 p.m. for pickup. Use code DNVR to save $5. Guys, if you're not sure where to find Breck Brew, Google the Breck Beer Locator. They'll tell you exactly where to find it.
Yo,
Pretty sweet.
what a sexy little ad you put together with
Thanks,
this Al
man.
Green
I
backing.
am ready.
I know it is like this. You see me over here just like.
We're just vibing to your Breck Brew vibes over here, Brendan.
Well, just two reads in every ad. 2 ads in every read, so plenty of time to blow this. Okay, guys, you know how much we love you.
Yeah.
Not
Tell
gonna lie,
us.
guys. Not gonna lie. I might sound a bit harsh. You've been letting us down lately.
Whoa.
Wow.
Our strongest and our most loyal partner to date, Strava Craft Coffee. They're not feeling the love. We need your help. We need to change that. These people are my favorite. I need that free Strava.
You
plug.
are a big
so help us out. They're offering a new code to everyone. You can save 25% off your first purchase when you use code DNVR25. Not only do we love what Strava tastes like, and do we also love the CBD infused nature of this coffee. It helps you with so much anxiety, IBS, joint pain, all that stuff. Head to StravaCraftCoffee.com today. Try out their delicious CBD infused coffee. Use code DNVR25 at checkout for 25% off, or use that to get 20% off every single order when you sign up for their subscription service. You can choose what dosage, what flavor, and when it comes to you every 2, 4, 6, or 8 weeks. Not 7, I guess, but 2, 4, 6, or 8. So check out Strava Craft Coffee. Use code DNVR25.
All right, so back here on the DNVR Nuggets podcast, don't forget, guys, here in the Winners Lounge, this is also a podcast. If you ever miss a show, you're driving, you don't want to use all your data by watching the show, it's a podcast too. You can just download it to your phone, listen as you drive, whatever it is. So Aaron Gordon, big acquisition, trade deadline, did not play. He played 22 minutes, did not play in the fourth quarter or overtime tonight.
If Harrison did not ask about that, if we don't get then we're dropping. We're signing Shaq Harrison.
A wind chime.
Oh, if we don't get a wind chime, I thought you were saying he was here. I was like, that was really
No,
quick.
if we don't get information
Yeah.
about this as to why
Well,
Aaron Gordon was not playing.
So you're right. It could have been an injury. It could be, the ankle soreness. Although I don't think that was it. This gets us to the problem with Facu. They were not guarding him tonight. They did not respect his jumper, and they did not respect his ability to finish inside on cuts or anything like that. So Jokic constantly had one guy either in double team or mucking up the passing lane so he couldn't pass. That's why he didn't have assists. You give him a second guy in Aaron Gordon, and it's like, hey, we're just not going to guard Aaron Gordon. We're not going to guard Campazzo. See what happens. And what happens was they couldn't get anything going. Malone kind of, I think, had to make a decision. Who do I go with? And I'm shocked he went with Facu over Gordon. That's what he did, and it turned out to be the right one.
I mean, I was going to say it's the right decision.
Well, they won.
Aaron Gordon was not having a good game. He really wasn't. I know we want him to play better, but when it's not your night, it's not your night. Like, he goes 1 of 7. He gives good energy on defense and gets 8 rebounds. He's doing all those small things, but when Facu doesn't have a good night scoring, we're tough on him. Aaron Gordon's not getting shots up. He's making tough contested shots or missing like a lot of shots. It makes it hard. And also, like you said, just how Memphis's defense was playing them, it just allowed another guy to come over. But now it's not just another guy. It's another big guy coming over. If you have Facu out there, it's a guard coming over. Jokic can still navigate. But if you bring Aaron Gordon over, it's another power forward or center that's going to come over. It makes it a lot more difficult. So I think that even I feel like it would have to be some type of injury. But even if it's not, I think that there's some type of strategy within it, and it worked out tonight.
But here's the thing about Aaron Gordon. There's some players that doesn't matter what defense you do, we're going to be able to find, we're going to style, however the game flow's going, it got something for every situation. I don't think Gordon's quite that way. I do think that you need to have a style, and the Nuggets style fits him perfectly. But when you throw a wrench in that, and we kept talking about the Nuggets didn't get to play Nuggets basketball tonight, Gordon just looked like Orlando Gordon, where it was like, hey, man, you got to make something out of nothing, this or that. And so I'm not surprised he didn't shoot well tonight, because I didn't think he was getting the type of shots that he's going to shoot well with.
Yeah, that's a good point. I also didn't think there was an obvious matchup for him, too.
Yeah, part of it.
And that might have dictated some things a little differently, whereas Malone clearly liked Facu in that situation. I mean, look, the Gordon jump shot, that thing looks different every time. It's
not great.
Whatever the percentages say, if it's playoff time and I'm the opponent, I'm making that dude take and make jump shots. And so Denver needs to get these wins, but part of me would rather see if they could have learned to figure that out with Gordon on the floor than Facu.
No doubt. The reason I just laughed, I just went to the front page of ESPN.com.
Why would you do that?
Guess how many stories about Jokic there are?
Well, it's early. We'll see. That's zero.
They're probably still writing them.
Yeah,
well, Steph Curry. Did you notice Steph Curry scored 49 points?
I did.
That's two more than Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, it is two more than Jokic.
Jokic nowhere to be found on this page.
Well, he did score 49. To be fair, Steph, just joy.
A new big baller super chatter coming in tonight.
Mike Davis.
Mike, our man.
40-piece, man.
Mike,
Him and
y'all
two
great.
40-pieces were dropped tonight.
Jokic is
and
MVP.
Mike Davis.
And with Facu, ball equals life. Heart emoji. We
Ball
love you,
equals
Mike.
life.
We got a bunch of
This
super
is
chats we're going to have to get to.
My Ted Lasso comparison. It's so great. Thank you. We appreciate that.
I've been doing that for 3 months, man.
Ball is life?
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm catching up now, though.
It's all right,
I'm a little
it's all
behind.
right.
Michael Porter tonight, I think it's hilarious because he was a game high plus 17. He was the guy. So we talk about Aaron Gordon not playing a whole lot. How long is he going to be? If it was injury, we'll get clarification. But if he's only playing 22 minutes, this is partly what happened to Jeremy Grant. Was it's hey, man, I'm cool being the intangibles guy, but am I appreciated here? Because some nights if I only play 22 minutes, I played fewer minutes than PJ Dozier tonight by almost half. All right, this is, that's not a recipe for long-term success if you think, as I do, that Aaron Gordon is an very important, irreplaceable piece of the Denver Nuggets' best version. Michael Porter, I feel similar things for now. He played 43 minutes tonight, only got 13 shots, and once again, in large part because Michael Porter at this stage of his career does not create offense very well, in my opinion, off the dribble, although he does have a little bit more than Aaron Gordon. But when the ball's not moving, it's not finding him. There was no two-man game to be found between him and Jokic, and as a result, he only gets 21 points because Michael Porter scores 21 points in his sleep. But he goes only 7 of 13. He goes 5 of 8 from the three-point line.
I thought he missed some shots tonight. Guess not.
Yeah. Eric, what do you make of the fact that he was such a low-usage player tonight, even though he was a high-impact player?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to pull from tonight. Tonight was the weirdest game in so many respects. The fact that it went to 3 overtimes, I never understood any of the lineups that were on the floor.
Yeah, they were weird.
Facu starting, I felt was a bad omen to begin with, and it didn't pay dividends until the end. I don't know what to make of any of it. I really don't know what to do. It's 90s time down here.
A little smash mouth, is that what we're doing? Oh, yeah. Wow.
You're an all-star. Jokic is an all-star. I will say that. Good call.
Right, good call. Actually, great.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to make of any of this.
Didn't
stuff.
it feel, guys, Porter played well, but we were sort of waiting for that stretch where Porter and Jokic do it together.
Exactly. Yep.
The two-man, and that never manifested.
This is what I'm getting at. Tonight we saw what happens to the Nuggets in tight games, and they still won, and it was great. But it was, Barton and Jokic. It was a lot of Campazzo. It was a lot. It just wasn't a lot of Michael Porter. 0 Aaron Gordon, and to me it just makes me uncomfortable. This is a great win. It's on a high, but is this the recipe for success down the road? Is this ever, you might say, well, situationally it was this or that, but did the Lakers ever go, situationally it wasn't a LeBron night? You're like, no,
Right,
like if
right.
it's an important piece of your team, then you find a way to win, and that's part of what I think is just a little unsettling about this one for me.
Yeah, one of the positives that you can take out of this is because Michael Porter Jr. He had a shit first half. Like, it was not a good first half. Energy wasn't there, not making shots, and usually he like fades after that first half. If things don't go well,
True.
he's just like, I'm not in it. But tonight was a night that it turned around for him. He like played himself into it, and he has a plus 17 in the game. Like he still like was a part of the rotation. He still like was really like engaged and turned his night around. So I think that's like a real positive. And while him and Jokic didn't have it going at the same time, there was a spurt that Michael Porter Jr. brought the energy back to the Nuggets and got them back in the game, because this was a game of runs. Like, Nuggets went up big, then they went down big, and it looked like that it was over for them. Like, Memphis was making everything, but Michael Porter Jr. kept the Nuggets around, and then from there, MVP took over.
Yeah.
So there is positives in the game, and also he was locked in defensively.
Right.
He's contesting at the rim. That block at the rim, like, you're not seeing that from Michael Porter Jr. like last year, but he's like showed that he's locked in. He showed that he's bought into the team. So there is positives that you could take from this type of game. You just want to see it like more consistently, and also you want to see him not just fit in at times, but to be the guy that's win, lose, or draw, he's still going to be the guy for the Nuggets, and that's what they need.
I think him and Jokic can have a good two-man game.
Definitely.
Dribble, handoff. In fact, maybe not even quite a handoff. It's a little bit more of a, as they're running to you, you give the pitch first and then set the screen. So it's almost like in between a pick and roll. It's a dribble pitch, basically. And I think that they've really developed a night, like they have a nice, it's so hard to guard that. You have to step out on Michael Porter so hard on that. And if you do, you either get a switch or a shot or whatever. And I was a little disappointed that Denver didn't go to that. So you're going down the stretch. And again, the Nuggets won. This is more of a let's take note of it. But I just would like to see them go to those two a little bit more. Maybe Michael Porter's just not ready for it, and Malone knows it. But I'd like to see it. Hopefully we get more of it. You want to talk about Dad?
Oh, yeah. I just thought he played really well. Obviously, this matchup made a little more sense for No McGee. I mean, they just didn't have any centers left on the roster.
Right.
But look, man, just about every time you're ready to say, great career, like, thanks for all you've done in Denver, but Millsap could probably slide out of the rotation. Every time you're ready to make that call in your head, he busts out a really quality stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have much more to say beyond that, but he gets killed so much this year. I just want to shout him out when I thought he played well.
Vlatko Čančar got into the game today early, and I thought that was a really strange decision. I mean, you talked about the weirdness of the first half. Like, Vlatko just was not on our bingo card tonight to play a bunch of minutes. He plays 11 minutes, was a minus 14. Did not go well. He also played a lot of small forward, which is funny because when he was drafted, that's what we all thought he was, but it's so clear he is a power forward now.
Yeah.
Slides up. That lineup didn't look great either. Again, Michael Malone's hands are really tied. I will say I like Shaq Harrison. I like Shaq Harrison a lot. We get another super chat.
Our man Gordon.
Ahmad Gordon, he dropped another 40 piece. What do we got?
No,
Dropped to $20.99.
He dropped an MPJ.
Also, we've got a win whenever you guys are ready.
All right, we're going to have to do another break, but we got to finish up, wrapping up here, talking about these guys. Shaq Harrison really impressed me tonight. Defensively, he is elite. I mean, that was how he was billed. Offensively, he is pretty rough, but my God, man, his hands are fast. His arms are long. He really disrupts a lot.
He fits in with the team. Like, he's really aggressive and also confident. Like, he got straight in after not, like, we haven't seen Shaq Harrison. Like, that was our first time to really get him some minutes, and he showed up for the team and brought that energy. And it was contagious. Like, everybody else is, like, flying around, and they're trying to get involved defensively. He had his Nuggets moment, that was a tough
steal.
finish.
Big steal.
And the steal.
And
like,
the finish, yep.
He had his moments. And that's what you need from him. You don't need Shaq Harrison to go out and give you a whole bunch of minutes. You don't need him to score a bunch of points, but to go in and do his job. And I felt like he did his job tonight.
He was Torrey Craig-esque tonight in terms of, like, he made a couple plays. He was in there for a little bit.
Torrey Craig-esque?
Made a couple plays that changed the momentum.
And by the way, like, welcome to the Denver Nuggets. You're out there in crunch time. I know you have not a clue what to do on offense with this group, but just try not to get in the way.
It's true, though. Like, this being his first game, like, he just fit in a way. He didn't stand out negatively at all.
He had to do.
Like, he just, normally if there's somebody in there, you're like, who is that?
Yeah.
I didn't have any who is that until, like, it was like, oh, man, Shaq Harrison is on Ja Morant in a really important moment. and he came through.
A lot of great guard play, honestly, tonight from Memphis. They shot the ball really well. Went a little bit cold down the stretch, thankfully, but my goodness, they have some guy. Melton tonight was insane in that first half. Grayson Allen, it's weird to say, but he kind of lit him up. So impressive. All right, let's hit our last break. We got Harrison waiting in the wings, and I can't wait to find out why didn't Aaron Gordon play. We're going to ask him that here in just a moment.
All right, guys, we've had several listeners switch over to Green Mountain Dental Group over the years. They've made them their permanent family dentist. If you're thinking about doing that, make sure you let us know. Send us those anecdotes, those pictures, those great experience you have over there, because our friends at GMDG, well, they're the best damn family-owned dentist in the metro. And folks, if you get a cleaning, x-ray, and exam at Green Mountain Dental Group, you walk out the door with a free Sonicare toothbrush. That's a win-win. You go in there, they take care of your teeth, they give you a tool to take better care of your teeth. So help them out, and that's one of the best ways to help us out. Check out our friends at Green Mountain Dental Group. Guys, the Colorado Hawks, as you know, they're selling those beautiful Jokic for MVP shirts, and I pulled up the wrong ad.
But you can just free ball this one.
Can I?
Yeah. Jokic for MVP.com. You buy a shirt, very comfortable. Proceeds go to support.
And you support the Colorado Hawks, which is a great and affordable program that's never turned away an athlete over costs.
That was your Mo Cheeks moment.
Yeah, one of the best ways to support that partner, support us, is by buying those tees. And guys, to be honest, if you buy that tee, all you're really doing is securing yourself on the right side of history. He will be the MVP. Get the shirt that says so. All right, one more ad read, guys. Gabby Insurance. Anyone know what Gabby stands for? Anyone want to
get a better insurance?
That's right. Gabby is not an insurance provider, but they help you go price shopping. On average, Gabby customers save $961 per year on insurance. So check out Gabby, because chances are you are overpaying right now. Put your policy to the test like we have. Get a better insurance with Gabby. It's totally free to check out. There's no obligation. Go to gabby.com/DNVR. That's GABI.com/DNVR. One more time, gabby.com/DNVR.
All right, he's been waiting very patiently, has not sent me a single complaining chat during that entire time saying, what's going on? Why don't you get here? And I thank him for that. Harrison, the man with the wind in his hair.
Harrison composure.
I just sent my chats to Kale, Adam.
Is that what it was? Hurry this thing up.
I did get a
Yo, what's the holdup? I see it there. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you for sending them to Kale. I can ignore those ones. All right. We have to ask right off the bat, because it's the most curious question. No Aaron Gordon down the stretch tonight. Was there clarification as to why?
No clarification. I was going to ask in the post game. I didn't get called on. There were a lot of Jokic questions, a lot of MVP questions, a lot of questions about how crazy this game was, but no clarification on the Aaron Gordon thing.
Man, that's very unsatisfying. Well, let me ask you, though, real quick. There's a lot of good things, and we'll just get the bad out of the way. Are you concerned at all that he didn't play in the fourth or either of the overtimes? Do you think that's, if he was healthy, is that a little uncomfortable?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Let me make that clear why he didn't play, but Malone did say a couple of games ago prior to what was the last game? Was it the Rockets game? Yeah, that he said that he can really tell when Aaron Gordon has had a day off or when he's kind of playing a little hurt or the ankle's bothering him or whatnot. So I've got to think the ankle played somewhat into this. Maybe Malone didn't think he was 100% or looked 100% in the first half, first three quarters, and that's why he didn't play. I've got to think that had something to do with it, but yeah, I don't know. It's a little concerning for sure. I mean, the 3-point shooting's noticeable. I think he just hasn't knocked down shots, even though they're wide open and spot ups, and with the within the rhythm of Denver's offense, he's got to knock those down. But yeah, I mean, I thought he'd be out there just for defensive purposes.
Yeah. Well, what did Malone have to say, and just sort of what was the mood in the post game?
Yeah, the mood was great. Like I said, a lot of talk about just Jokic's MVP bid and what he did tonight. I mean, tonight I thought was just a super, super memorable performance. Definitely one I'm going to remember for a while. He was talking about Jokic's just confidence in clutch situations. He thinks that his confidence in those clutch situations has been born from him doing it. Just that confidence comes from many years of being put in those situations and just delivering. And Michael Malone was also asked if he thought tonight was Nikola's MVP moment. Malone said, life's about little moments. And Nikola's got about 56 moments where he's shown he's the MVP this year. Not sure how he wound up on 56.
Yeah,
but
very specific.
I'd say it's about accurate, 56 moments or so.
It does feel arbitrary, I have to say.
I would say it feels like 10,056 by my count.
Yeah, death by 10,056 moments.
That is how it goes.
Yeah.
He really was special tonight, man. Just we laugh, but it's like he never lets us down. You get in that moment, you get it that close, yeah, he'll come through, and he did. What else from Malone?
Yeah. So just more on Jokic kind of closing the Grizzlies out in his game tonight. He said a lot of coaches in the NBA would say, man, I wish I had a closer. Well, that's something I never wish for because we have one. That guy's from Sombor, Serbia. Just an absolute banger right there. And then on Will Barton's night, you know, Will had one of the more like up and down nights that I can remember. And that's wild because he has a lot of up and down nights. Like that's a staple of Will Barton's game, especially this year. But I mean, he had 28 tonight. And Malone said he told Will in the locker room that his favorite play that Will made tonight, not a three-pointer, not the game-tying three-pointer, none other than that verticality block he had on John Morant. He said that takes courage. John Morant has been on SportsCenter a lot. He's put a lot of people on posters. So he applauded that defensive stand at the rim from Will Barton.
Not surprising that that's the one he highlighted from Barton. I could have totally guessed it. What did he have to say about Facu?
I don't remember Malone saying anything specific.
This is the shocker
Facu.
of the century that Malone did not mention Facu after that overtime run. This is honestly the shocker. I would have bet $1 million that he unprompted spoke about him, so I would have been very poor.
Yeah, definitely nothing unprompted. Not that I can remember. Maybe a little something here, but not that memorable. Will, who he spoke with, Nikola, who he spoke with, shouted him out, but I can't remember like an unprompted thing from Malone.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Is there anything else from Malone, or we should move on to the players?
Let's move on to the players. We can start with Will Barton, kind of just talking about Nikola Jokic, the season he's having. He said his work ethic this year has been what separated him, and that's why he's having the season that he's having. He always works hard, but he took another leap this year with just the work he's putting in. Every day he's, the first one in, last one out, putting the work in.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. Yeah. Keep us going. Take us on a tour of the postgame.
So I thought Shaq Harrison was impressive tonight.
You would.
No, but Shaq Harrison, man, he plays with such a great pace, I feel like. Offensively, defensively, he's just flying around. And I mean, Michael Malone has a lot of confidence in him defensively already. I mean, he subbed him in for that final possession to guard John Morant. I think that was the last play of OT when Morant almost had that tip slam, or was that regulation? I don't know. It's bleeding together. But he subbed Shaq Harrison in, who just signed this week or last week on that last play. So I thought that was notable. And Will Barton shouted out Shaq Harrison in his post-game Zoom. He said he felt like he was huge for us. He said his defense on John Morant was big. Other contributions that won't show up in the stat sheet too.
Nice. What else?
Will Barton on just no Jamal Murray, no Monte Morris. He said he's just going to try to be aggressive, look for a shot, look to put pressure on the defense. And yeah, I mean, tonight, man, like I said, it was just the ultimate Will Barton experience. I'm sure you guys have talked about that.
I mean, he came up big, and I think the team going to the Barton Jokic two-man game down the stretch is very meaningful.
Yeah, and that was actually something I left out from Michael Malone. He said he thought Will Barton and Nikola were our two main closers, And there was a stretch tonight. I believe this was in the first half. I got to check my notes here. I think this might have been right before halftime, but Will Barton assisted on a Nikola Jokic 3, and then they came down the next possession, and it really looked like to me that Will said something to Jokic after that made 3, like, all right, me and you, from here on out, me and you, two-man game next possession. And sure enough, they come back down the court, they run pick and roll, Will hits Jokic going to the rim. So I think that's definitely something. They lose the Murray-Jokic two-man game. I feel like, at least with no Monte Morris, that's going to try to be replicated by the Barton Jokic two-man game as much as it can.
Do you feel confident with that?
I mean, it's Denver's best option. If they want a reliable pick-and-roll game, it's probably with those two.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I like it a lot better with Monte, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, Monte, obviously when he comes back. All right, what else? Anything else noteworthy?
So let's go over a little bit of what Nikola had to say. Just talking about his night, he said, quote, I had a really good night. I scored a lot. I had a couple stupid turnovers that I can easily fix. It was a good night for me and the team.
Look at that. Feeling himself. I love it.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. It's a pretty good night.
He didn't say I am the MVP. I know in my heart I am the MVP.
No, I did not hear that from him tonight.
All right, well, okay.
I usually
just talking about his work ethic, kind of like what Will Barton said about that's the reason he's taken the leap this year. I thought this was interesting. Yoke said, that's what I think is the way. He's talking about just the work ethic, first one in, last one out, being really committed in the weight room. He said, maybe it doesn't have to be that way. I just feel good after I do something in the arena. I sleep good at night after that.
But I mean, I think it does have to be that way. That's part of it. But he answered his own question.
It do be like that.
It do be like that, I think. That's good stuff. Facu didn't speak today?
No, Facu did not speak. We spoke with Mike also, who didn't have a lot to say, but he hit on what he thought the key factor in the win was, and that was resiliency. He said we're a resilient team. And I mean, that's what these guys have to lean into now. Like,
that's right.
They've got to totally lean into this underdog mentality because everybody's going to, count them out. And honestly, when they have their backs up against the wall, they just seem to find a way. I don't know how. Sometimes I don't know why, other than because they have the MVP, but they just find a way, and that's what they did tonight.
Man.
Yeah, it really rules to have the MVP.
It does rule to have the MVP.
Can I tell you what I thought was the biggest re-emergence tonight was Harrison wearing a collared shirt.
Woo!
Oh, wow.
Any
back,
sweatpants
baby.
tonight underneath the camera?
Professional Harrison's return. No more hoodie Harrison. I don't know if I like this, to be honest.
Well, we got our cameraman Aaron following me around the arena tonight, so gotta look good. Gotta look good. As Richard Jefferson once said, if you look good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good.
Please tell me you're wearing sweatpants, though.
No, I'm not.
What?
Definitely not.
Normalize them.
Dude, I've gotten a lot of full body shots tonight. Like I could not have pulled off the sweatpants.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Harrison, any other final notes from the arena that you want to share before we get out of here and drive home through the snow?
One of my favorite moments at home games is when Nikola Jokic does the post-game interview. I tweeted a video of this. He walks off the floor. He's the only one still out on the court. The crowd's going wild. The MVP chants are going, and he just waves, it looks like, to every single person at Ball Arena. Like, look at the video I tweeted out.
Every single one, yeah. That's what I heard.
It's like he's individually waving to everyone. One of my favorite moments of home games.
That's so dope, man. We really do stand the greatest king.
I know. That it is nice when you find yourself following a just and correct ruler. You don't later on look back like, oh man, what were we doing? Like Jokic, dude.
I'm telling you, there's an alternative universe where we drafted Gobert.
Yeah,
we're like Jokic is in Utah. And
we have to be like, no, Gobert is really honestly pretty good, guys. You don't always see it, but
I'm telling you, I want to believe that if Jokic was in Utah and Gobert was here, I'd be like, no, I like Jokic. Sorry, guys, can't do this. He's too great. All right, Harrison, thank you so much. Get home safe, man. I hate to break it to you. It's going to get ugly when you go out to your car. I know you don't know this yet. It's ugly out there.
Yeah, I figured.
Take care.
All right, guys.
Super producer Kel is letting me know that we actually have a fire Ja Morant quote that I can't wait to see. Let's take a look at this. This fire, some real heat. What are we?
I did see
Well,
this quote.
it's defaming to Fox.
It's kind of a downer, but there's something to it.
Oh, what does it say here? I can't read that.
So it was a
tiny print.
reporter from Peru asking Ja Morant what he thinks of Facundo Campazzo's defense on him, and Ja says, I think I had 36 points. I'm going to let that answer that question.
Man, I like Ja, but that's a loser quote, man.
It's true.
It's a loser quote.
It is a loser quote. You know what, though? He's a loser. He lost tonight.
Well, he did lose tonight. I like Ja. He's not a loser. In my opinion, I know Dev doesn't. Dev's a bit of a hater over here, but that quote, like, what do you mean? He did lock you. He did have, like, some great defense against you. You also scored a bunch of points, but...
I know. You also shot the ball every time for every part of the overtime.
Ja was
Also,
great,
when you're a star or an upcoming star, you're supposed to like at least give like the other people credit.
Of course, man.
Like, that's just like how you're supposed to take the high road. Like he had some great energy. We had to do.
If he would have won, that's a great quote. Are you kidding? If you would have won, but you didn't.
No.
You're like, why didn't you have 40 points?
Yeah, you should have.
Was
40.
it because Campazzo played the final quarter and 2 overtimes? I think so.
We're gonna let you answer that question.
Well, we'll let you
Ja.
answer that one. So I like him, but I got to give him the business on this one. No,
Yeah.
that's a bad.
Sorry, Ja. You
Sorry,
earned
bro.
the
You were up.
business from
I'm told we
our
also
part.
have a plethora of super chats. Let's get to these.
Someone want to read?
Yeah, I got you. Dylan Cantor says Jokic's legacy was cemented when Greg Popovich called him Larry Bird reincarnated. I hope he starts telling guys how he's going to score on them like Larry did.
So there's an interesting. I have something on this, Dylan. By the way, I love your name. What I like this is a good name. It's a good name.
Okay.
There is a confidence. You know this. You've been a LeBron guy, maybe less so now, but you were a LeBron guy through the years.
Sure.
You win your first championship. There's a confidence boost that goes up of a I've already gotten over the hump. I'm so much better of a player now. Even if you're already an immensely confident person, supremely confident person, it still goes up another level. I kind of think Nuggets win one. I think Jokic becomes that. I think Jokic absolutely starts doing games where he shoots left-handed three-pointers and Sombor shuffles 8 times a game just to be like,
so here for.
I'm the MVP and the NBA champ. I can do whatever the F I want out here.
Jokic starts playing with his food.
Oh, absolutely. This is what happens when you get to that level. Like, think about Jokic had a quote like 3-4 years ago. I remember this because he said I'd been in the league 4 years, so it was 3-4 years ago. And somebody asked him about like, what's it like going up against this guy? Is it hard to get to know him? And he's like, I've been in the league 4 years. I've seen everybody. Like, I've already got it. Once you get to the championship and you've been in the league long enough, you're like, you guys realize literally nothing a team can do is surprising to me. Like, I know everything. And I have a championship, so I can shoot Sombor shuffles for an entire game.
Yeah, but I can't see Jokic showing up and being like, you're all playing for second tonight.
Oh, I can.
You can see
Oh,
that from
100% I can see it. 100% I can see it. Jokic has a lot of that FU to him. He might not say it. You're right that he might not say the thing, but I do think that there is a world in which he goes up against the Towns or something,
He's
right?
thinking it in his head.
And he only shoots Sombor shuffles, and by the second quarter, you're like, hold on. Is he only shooting Sombor shuffles tonight? And it's like, yeah, he is. He's just doing that tonight.
You're right. If they ever
Like,
win
where's
one,
the
he's just going to
hidden
try shit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Start trying stuff.
Great question, though. What else we got?
Feed me, Kel.
Quick,
Shane McAllister, thanks for the bet tip dev. Willie B. Buckets.
Man, that one hit right away.
Yeah, dude, he made you look like a genius.
See what I'm saying? See,
Shane, is there a follow up for my Michael Porter Jr. 3? There must be another super chat.
There must be another one.
anyway, Gordon with
Our guy Glaze.
Gordon, an ugly win is still a win. That's right, Gordon.
That is
and
factual.
Canadian money is still money, so we appreciate it.
Oh,
David W. Jokic is
Biting the hand
God,
that feeds.
Serbian sensation. Listen,
Also true.
also true, I think. Jonathan Entwistle, that can't be real. Barton slander needs to stop. Guy showed up like he does most nights. Big night from Barton. Big night from Barton.
He's their dog, man. He does a lot of the thankless work.
although my dog thanked constantly for doing almost nothing.
That's so true.
James Clark doing the Lord's work here wants us to point out Jokic had 45 points and only shooting 6 free throws. Embiid could never.
It is true. I mean, but that's his game.
It is true.
By the way,
Well, except for that, he was just getting mauled down the stretch, but nobody was getting calls in those overtimes.
Yeah, no one really was tonight.
George Garl talks about this on the latest Keeping It 1000, by the way, about Jokic drawing fouls and what he sees to be the situation.
It's a nice tease.
Check it out.
It's a nice tease.
Little
Any more, Kale?
last one.
Last one from Ashtray. I do wonder with Jamal out, who is the de facto hype man for the team? energy guy, I think he's asking.
I think it'll be Jamal, to be honest with you. I mean, when he returns to be with the team, of course, we saw the photo in the private jet today with Tim Conley.
What a great photo, dude!
Great.
Tim Conley, man. What do I need to do to get Tim Conley to just accompany me to things?
It's not going to happen.
Oh, okay.
I've
We'll
asked.
do that. Yeah.
I guess.
Can you hang out with Eric? He's really lonely. Just
Just
needs
send your
somebody.
name really fast if he doesn't know it.
But yeah, you notice they weren't seated together though. I'm not trying to start a controversy here,
Yeah,
but
bro.
there was like 2 seats side by
Bro.
side. Nope,
It's like that is a. They have that much space. That's
a flex.
a urinal thing. Like there's 15 urinals. You don't go right next to one.
I
You have a
bet
full
Tim actually
private jet.
did sit down next to him, and Jamal's
Jamal's like,
"You know
"Bro."
what, dude? Whole plane.
Bro, yeah, this is first class. There's second class. Let's do this, guys. Thanks for riding with us tonight. This was a great live. I think it was one of our bigger lives that we've had, at least for a while. And
big numbers.
You know, I get it because it's snowy out. You're cozy in bed, probably sipping a hot cocoa as you fall asleep. That's not
Sipping a
thing. You don't
cold
actually drink hot
rock.
cocoa right
Yeah,
before
that's
bed.
not-
It's cold rock. Yeah. But we appreciate you guys spending the post game right here with us. Hit that like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe button. Become a DNVR member. Get access tonight. You know what I'm going to be doing? Staying up late. I have like 20 clips ready for the list. Some of them already ready to go, and I'm going to go dig into this one because there's a lot of meat tonight to dig into.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
He's back on the menu. Hit that like button. We'll see ya.
Let's go.